This is Chris from 2NE1 USA, and I'm going to tell you about my concert experience going to the VIXX concert, New York City, November 23rd, 2014. Today is the 26th, so we're about 3 days out. I'm from Maine, so I had to travel there. So every K-pop concert I've been going to, which is a whole bunch of them, I've gone with my son and my daughter. My daughter's 15, my son is 13. And my daughter plays it just like so much that my son did not want to go. And he's like, we keep going to New York City. Like, he's kind of getting bored of it. And I'm like, okay. So only my daughter wanted to go. And I'm kind of told her, I'm running out of money here on all these concerts. So don't be surprised if we miss some big ones. The B1A4, she would have wanted to go to, but she knew I couldn't afford that one. We haven't seen the BAP concerts. 2 p.m. we didn't see that time, but we did see in 2011. So my daughter has always been telling me about VIXX. Played the in the car the CD over and over and over again. Showed me the videos. I've done reactions. So I like VIXX, and I've known them all along. And she really prepped me for this concert coming, and she knows how to like time them, like when they when they're gonna do a full concert or when they do the showcase. Like after Block B, now I understand what a showcase is. So she kept on telling me that VIXX is due for a showcase in New York. So I said, I'll think about it. And then the tickets went on that were to go on sale, and 8 minutes before, it was right on Ticketmaster. I think it was October 16th. Then all of a sudden it said that it didn't go on sale. Then I kept looking to see when they went on sale, and I missed it. Then she was telling me, so she wanted VIP, of course. So then on Tumblr she found someone, and I sent the person money, and then they transferred the ticket. I've never done that before through Ticketmaster, and I thought that was so cool. And then so she had the VIP, and then I had nothing. And then I'm like, I want to meet the guys. So I'm like, I'm willing to spend an extra $100 to do the high touch and maybe get closer. So I really wanted the high touch. The high touch. So it's pretty funny that I'm like, I'm willing to spend $100 to do the high touch, but of course to be with my daughter in the line and all that. So somebody put on eBay 2 tickets, but they listed it wrong, and she was from Canada, and I bought a ticket off her. So, and this cough is probably from being at the concert, touching everyone's hands. Everyone touching the hands and all the germs at the high touch. Probably, but I've had a cough ever since the day after the concert. So $220 for mine, because I paid the charges to do it through PayPal, and $213 for her. So there's $435, and then driving round trip is another $135. Then I spent $1,400 to get the car in shape for the drive, so it was a lot of money there. My brother lives in Brooklyn, and so we're able to stay there, so we don't have to pay for a hotel. But the funny part was when I was trying to buy the ticket, I kept seeing the word "era" on that, and that's when the Era video came out, or the album. And I thought people were having errors trying to buy the ticket. I didn't comprehend at that time that Era was a video / mini album. So, okay, so we get there Saturday. We drive. We get there 9-ish. And so my brother, my daughter, and me, we're like, let's do a test run. And so we took the L train, then ACE, the C train. We got there. And there were people waiting out already the night before, And I have all video of all this. That's gonna be another video I'll upload. And what was funny is I knew the people, and saw them at Big Bang, and I was next to them for most of 281 VIP line. And I on the Facebook I click like sometimes. I chat with these people. A week before the concert, these two girls, I was looking at old video from 281. So I was just looking at them on a previous video because I was looking for something, and I'm like, there they are again. I'm like, these girls are hardcore. The night before, and it was pretty cold. So it was probably 30 people VIP the night before. There was a couple of people standing in GA, but they might have just been talking. And I tweeted a lot during the concert and stuff, which some people out there enjoyed very much. And so my daughter was panicking. She's like, we gotta get up at 5 a.m. And she's been saying that all along. And we went to Times Square, got some nice pictures. Then we headed home. Then I slept. I went to bed at 1, and then I was up at 5. So I had 4 hours sleep. And we got to the concert place at 6:30, and we were around 60th, 70th in line. And it was interesting because I noticed people in the line who I had been seeing on Twitter, Instagram, Twitter, and stuff like that. It's like a little community when you see everyone together in the line. And it was funny. We're walking towards the line, and there's a girl past us. My daughter and I, she passed us as we're walking towards the line. So we're like a block away. I'm like, Noelle, we're now one person more behind. We could tell she was going to it. And we got right behind her, but she got in line before us. But I said to her, I go, get ready to spend the day with her. And she actually did. And they were friends during the concert. I mean, up until they got into the concert and then after and stuff. So that was fun. It was cold. My daughter and I dressed light because we didn't want to bring stuff into the concert. I had Goodwill blankets and gloves so that we could just get rid of them before the concert, and that worked out well because it was hot in there. So we wore it just right. I bought my daughter extended battery charger, extended thing for the phone, so she loved that. So she got a little gift on going there. And the one thing, what I like about a concert, because we were there all day, is you get the revolving people that you talk to. And then you start to just get into a group and get into another group. And these are people you're probably going to see again at another concert. So I love that part of connecting and growing in the K-pop family. And my daughter loves VIXX. And she was in her element, and all day long, everyone talking about VIXX. This is a dream for her, and it was so much fun for me. And the thing is, I'm an older guy, and a lot of VIXX fans are younger women. So it's nice to have my daughter there because it would probably be a little odder, people talking to me. But I loved hearing everyone's story, and I walked the line and I had a lot of conversations with other people. My daughter would leave the line. I don't know if they were trying to look for them. Then I wouldn't see her for an hour. She would come back. I would take off for a little while. I'd come back. The line would swell, going bigger and smaller. But what always happens is I barely ever swear. And my kids barely ever. I don't even know if I've ever heard them swear. But whenever we go to a K-pop concert, we get the people talking, they just keep talking, and they're swearing. And I just kind of will look at my daughter sometimes like, okay, today's a day of swearing. We're going to hear a lot of it. So the flash mob thing was good, the 4 little girls dancing. That was cool. People dancing, waiting, that was good. I tried to take a nap. I think I fell asleep. 2 times I was shivering. I was so cold. One time I think it's because I was laying on the blanket, but the coldness of the cement I think made my body colder. We thought we were going in at 5:30. We thought we were going in earlier. No one knew what was going on. I don't care. I mean, that could have annoyed a lot of people. We didn't get in until I think 6:15. The whole experience is fun. I don't care if there's delays as long as we get a full concert or showcase, which we did. So if people are mad at that, whatever. I had a great time. So we get in, and I lose my daughter in the crowd, and I'm like yelling her name, going back and forth, and then eventually I found her, and it's because she went to go get the VIP pass thing, and that's why I missed her, because she went to the left. I went right in the crowd, but then after we were right there, and so then there's one thing is everyone's wearing jackets, so that everyone's getting hot. And so people are like overheating, and it's hot. And if someone faints or something, that is so serious. And so somebody was getting hot. They left the crowd because either you're like in the first couple rows and you go over the front, or you go to the back of the crowd. So there's one girl to the left of me. After she sees a person leave, she's like, "Oh, I'm hot, I'm hot." And I'm like, okay, you just kind of sit back and kind of like give her space. But then she starts moving towards the front. The concert hadn't even started yet. And I'm 5 back. Just that was a little bit like stage left. So they were this way to me. So she starts moving to the front, and she moved in about 2 people. And I'm just sitting here going, I feel sorry for this girl, but this girl's moving closer to the stage. I'm just like, you're breaking concert rules. You don't. If you're too hot, you go that way. And so I wonder if she used it just to try to get closer. All right, so we're waiting. People are singing the songs. It's so funny that when people try to sing along, they only know the good parts and they don't know the other parts, and everyone laughs when they try to do it. And I like the place. I didn't really realize it was a club. I thought it was more like of a different place. It didn't really matter to me because I was up close. But I didn't realize it was a club. So, but I think it was a great venue for this. And I was 5. And eventually 3 from the stage, so it didn't matter. There was someone in front of me wearing contacts in the eyes. It was kind of weird. So, all right. So it starts, and going into this concert, I know my daughter's bias is Leo. I knew that going in, and N is my favorite because of Voodoo Doll more. And the GR8U, I love when he does this part in the video. And his face is so unique. So he's my bias going in. But I knew there was a Leo, but I didn't really know anyone other names. So one thing I gained from this is learning all the members, so I will always know the members. But the problem is then I watched the Era video, and like a couple of them I still can't figure out who's who, even though I just saw them live. I'm looking at this going, who is who in this video? Like, that's Ravi, and that, like, some of it you can tell, but I'm just like, who's the lead guy? So that's one of my problems with K-pop, that I know who the people are, but then I can't figure out who they are because of all the makeup and the hairstyles and everything going on. All right, so the concert begins, and to me, this is with my daughter, spending a weekend with her, and my son wasn't there, so, 3 years, she's off to college. So this was nice one-on-one time, got to see my brother. But to me, this is such a huge event. And you think of the people working there, like Terminal 5, they might be just like, oh, we got a concert, it's a K-pop concert. Oh, the concert happened, the concert's done. to them, that's what it is. But to me, it's almost like a religious experience, but it's not a religious one. And I watch one person 38-minute reaction to the concert. She used the word religious experience, and so concert starts. I see them up there. I love how close I was, but I was sitting there going, I'm like, I cannot believe like I'm experiencing this. My daughter's right in front of me. For the first half, she was a little bit to the side. For the second half, she was right in front of me. At Infinite, I lost her in the crowd. So I was kind of glad to stay with her. But when I looked at the people up on the stage, the VIXX singing, I'm like, God bless them. This is their moment. I go, they might be sick of their songs because they sing it so much. But I'm like, this is what they do. This is why they're existing. And I know in other countries, so the families might be poor, and then that one person can just like totally feed the family and stuff. So I was looking at them, wondering what their families are like, and wondering if, when they're up on stage, are they sitting there going, I'm doing what I want to do. And if you look at their ages, they're 19 to 24. I mean, I was graduating from college, getting almost almost married at that time. So it was like one of the primes of my life. So they get to see America, they get to see New York. They're performing, and we're loving them. And but at the same time, they're doing this and supporting their family. And I mean, that moment must be a great moment for them. And it's a great moment for listening. When I love music and I love concerts, I've been to so many. And when you're sitting there that close, enjoying it, knowing for the rest of your life when you're watching a VIXX video that you shared an experience with them and the high touch. I mean, to me, it's like bigger than just that Terminal 5 person who's like, oh, it's a concert and all that. And the thing is, it's for the VIXX fans, the Starlights. It was like, this was our moment, and it was VIXX moment, and we were sharing it together. It was all ours. And like at that point, you don't even care about the club. You don't even, it is the one moment where it's like, this is it. We're together. We're creating a memory. So I'm just telling you, I love it, and I mean, it's so much money, like $200 a ticket, and I mean, it costs a lot for them to get over, flying, and all the trying to do a concert over here. We're over in South Korea. It's probably a lot easier and stuff, but what an experience. So here's my opinions about the singers. And Eternity is my favorite one, and the GR8U is my second favorite. And I'm really loving that Era video. That video was done, I think, perfect, and that girl was casted so perfect. This video makes me sad when they... Well, I'll talk about it now, because in the middle of the concert, they played the whole video, and I think that was a good move, because videos, it's like an art, and what you get out of that video is not what you get on stage. The stage is more raw, the video is more art. So when you're watching it, it's just like looking at them and all that, and that video, I'm just really loving it. But it's so funny when they stick that thing in the girl's back, and the thing says illegal, someone screams out, illegal! I heard someone say that before it said on the screen. I just thought that made me laugh. But I like that they did that in the middle. Even though we're paying to see them live, gave them a moment. I mean, do they gotta go to the bathroom, whatever they do back there, and get a drink and stuff. I like that they threw that in the middle of the video. Alright, so going into the concert, In was my favorite. I did not know he was the leader. And what I'm going to remember is he smiles. Alright, so that's pretty much In. It's scary because I'm older, and I'm looking, he's 24, and he the month he was born, my sister got married. I'm like, I remember the time like he was born. So ends my bias, ends my favorite. So that's my opinion of him. So then I was concentrating on Hayuk, 19, and his hair. Like if you look at me, I put a little gel in my hair and I make it go to the side. And so that we're kind of he's 19 and everyone else has all these other haircuts. But his look more kind of like an old or but it kind of like top likes to do it to the side. So it was interesting that look because it's kind of like of an older style. But during the concert, I probably saw the most of him because he was in me a lot, and I think that they were very professional, as in they weren't always like hi waving off to us. They were stoic, if that's the word. Then at the end, they were doing a little bit of the waving, but they come off very professional. And watching them perform for me makes me think of how I perform when I'm trying to sell in my job mailings and stuff like that. All right, so that was in Hayuk is 19, the youngest. Uh, I thought he did a good job. I thought he looked good. I was concentrating too much on his hair. And Hongbin, he's 21. He was born the month before I got engaged. So to me, I'm so much older than these people. And I will remember him on Rock Your Body. I liked what he was wearing and he repeated the dance step. That's when he was on that side of the stage. He's not the youngest, but I think he looked good. He looked very youthful, and that's what I remember about him. And then Ken was I remember April 3rd, 1992, which was 3 days before he was born. So I clearly remember that week that he was born. And Ken looked, he's got the black hair, and they're asking him something like, "What's the funniest thing that happened today?" or something like that, and he's just like, "Today." So he looked like he wasn't understanding the English. So out of all of them, he's the one that I was less thinking about, and he was on the other side of the stage more. And then Leo I'm really confused me because I think of Leo with like black hair, but his hair was more like out, and he's 24, so he's the oldest, and he looked like dramatic. He looked like he was like, oh, like what's going on? And I love his voice because I realize now he's got the highest part of the voice. I think VIXX was put together so good. You know, you got the rapper, you got the high pitch, and you got all of the guys. They nailed. I think VIXX is excellent in K-pop. They just nailed it with the ingredients for a K-pop group, and they just come off so professional. But Leo almost came off a little bit feminine. And I know a lot of people love it, but I was just kind of looking at him, and I was just like, he looks a little feminine, in case you're wondering. And then Ravi, and I saw his mic cut out on one part. He is very interesting, and I know his name because they always say Ravi like in the song right before like a rap on one or two of them, and I don't think he's the best looking in the band, and I hear other people saying he's so good looking. He and the thing is, when I look at people, Americans are of all cultures, but he looks more like someone like I would see just when I'm out shopping or something like that, and I realize I love his part of the songs, his raps and stuff. His ingredient is so important to the songs, and I see me going, okay, here he comes. Yes, he did it. And during the concert, because I had one guy in front of me, and when everyone was screaming, the guy was going like this, which just cracked me up. But during the whole concert, I was doing this because I wanted to know who sings what part of the songs because I knew every song. So I'm like, who actually sings that part? So I think I have more of appreciation for Leo and Ravi. The Ken, Hayuk, Hongbin, I'm just kind of like, oh yeah, they sing the other parts. But I focus more now on Leo, Ravi, and N. Alright, so love the concert. I think the time between the encore and the last song was way too long. They should have done that a little bit less. Before the concert, the Mr. Popo, that guy on YouTube, he was there and the crowd loved him. I got so much footage, I can't wait to see how it looks. The high touch. I forgot about the high touch. So I did a high touch for Block B, Zico. I told him, State of Maine loves you. And I shook his hand and everything. And it was the exact same feeling. I think the best way to do a high touch is put him around a corner so you can prepare. Like you knew they were probably around the corner, but the next thing you're like, oh my god, here they are. And Leo was the first one. I remember seeing his face, and I really don't remember any of them. Like if you hypnotize me and put me under, I probably remember them. But I did the high five, and I'm so glad N was at the end. So I do the high five to N, but I keep my hand there, and I go, N, you're my favorite, just so you know. And then he looked at me and smiled, like that. But I love that because there's that moment where there's like, because it was 800 people who did the high touch, where it was that one moment for that 2 seconds or 3 seconds where it was just me and him in this universe. And now before I did this, I just watched the Era video because I had it up on there, and I'm watching the video and I'm like, all right, and way to go. And so I will always remember that forever. And somebody said that people, and so then we left, and we weren't going to look for merchandise. But I heard it was sold out, but I heard that people bought merchandise, the $70 package. They went after the high touch to get it, and they're like, oh, we're sold out. I'd be so mad, but I'm so glad I was not part of that. Then we came out, and everyone was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. And then I talked to Mr. Popo guy. I told him about one of his YouTube videos. It was so funny. And I was telling him I love that one. And the KML, I saw her out there, but I didn't talk to her. So then we went around to the back of the building and waited an hour and a half for them to come out in the limo. And I took a picture and posted it on Twitter. And within 17 minutes, there was 41 retweets that cracked me up. I'm like, oh my god, people love the limo shot. I'm like, I didn't expect that. And before the high touch, Psych Mock Uvan42, who I talked to on YouTube, I got to talk to her for a while, so that was good. And waiting for the limo, someone's like, 281 USA, and I mean, it's got to be weird for my daughter. For me, I enjoy it because I used to have a TV show in 1988, which was local access. It was like Wayne's World before everything. So it's part of my nature. It was like YouTube before YouTube. And when I make these videos, I mean, part of it is, I don't know, I'm last born. So technically you're getting attention. But when someone recognizes me, that I love that because that's part of the reason I do it. So hopefully I was part of their life for a moment. But the thing is, my daughter, when she hears that, because my son hears it, I mean, what do you think about that when you're sitting there and someone's like, hey, I see your videos, to someone's father? and I'm at the concert with her and enjoying it and actually know the songs. It's gonna be kind of weird for my daughter on that one, but I enjoy that, and I know that after the concert they went to pizza because they tweeted around 12:30 a.m. a picture of them eating pizza. My daughter still wanted to go see them, but we went to bed at 1 a.m. And so then comparing concerts, 2NE1 is my favorite band, which is female for the girl groups. And I really love 4 Minute, Tara, Sista, a bunch of them. So, at all the concerts, 2NE1 is the best. And that's the only one I did go to without my kids. That was August 2012. And I was supposed to see him December 12th, 2012. I got kicked out before I even got in the concert. So, when Bomb sang You and I think it was, or something like that, one of her songs, Heaven, or something like that, that was probably my biggest moment, because Bomb is my favorite, and that I'm just, it was kind of like, that was a moment where, like, Bomb was saying that this K-pop stuff, which is part of my life, would, like, kind of, like, follow your path, believe in yourself, enjoy, because I love music, so it was, like, enjoy music. It, like, reconfirmed everything that I already knew, but her heavenly voice and the words of her song is just, it was like, this is the moment, this is where I'm here. And that was in New Jersey. So then November was a Big Bang concert, and it was the same place, and it was 17,000 people. So that was the biggest concert that I've been to. And see, I think I like Big Bang more than VIXX. I don't know. I really have to think about it, because this VIXX concert was really good, and all their videos are perfect. I really have to review to tell you who I like better, Big Bang or VIXX. So I saw Infinite a year ago, and in that concert was very similar to the VIXX concert, but I think it was bigger, and and I was with my son, and that was a good one. But I think, and then we saw Block B, which was more intimate because it was smaller. But I think of those three, the VIXX concert was probably the best, and it's probably one we were up front, really, really close. In Infinite, it was more like 10 back instead of being 3 or 5 back. And we made a whole day of it, and we made K-pop friends, and it was like an all-day experience, kind of like the 2NE1 concert. So I'm going to say that out of the last three of Block B, Infinite, and VIXX, the VIXX one was the best. And had great moments with my daughter as just going and doing something. She's off to college. These are the memories. And we've done the Disney World, but I think my kids have realized that there's not many family vacations except, we just have K-pop vacations. So when my son said no, I'm just kind of like, uh-oh. And I did go see Skrillex with him this summer, just him. And so those are my thoughts, and I want to know, what do you think? What were your memories of the concert? All I know is sometimes I'm so lucky because things are so perfect with, that I had enough money for the concert, that we got in, we got up close, and we enjoyed it, and we got the high touch after, and got to see my brother, and had a safe trip and stuff. And I hope everyone else had that, and it was nice to see everyone, and I look forward to the next K-pop concert that I'm there, and I get to see everyone again. So I'll be uploading a video concert experience. I don't know how long it will take, but I got over an hour of footage, and I tried to get the crowd. So there's a good chance you'll be in this footage. Those are my thoughts. What are yours? See ya.